Tagwirei, Tagwirei, dump Mnangagwa. Tagwirei and your friends in the gold mafia, dump Mnangagwa and support me. I know you are one of the smartest people in Zimbabwe. That's why you're successful. I'm sure you can see that the climate is changing. Mnangagwa is no longer the future that any Zimbabwean should rely on going forward. Because as the world is going through this World War III, Mnangagwa, a Putin ally, is going to be completely destroyed by the Western powers, including the people in Harare that support Iti Mnangagwa. It's time for you, Tagwirei, and your friends, and all the other people that we do not know about who are in the mafia state, to really make a wise choice and understanding that who the head of state is in your country is what's going to matter in the next economy. In the next economy of global trade, alliances are going to be around like-minded countries and with leaders that understand the new the free world mindset. With Idi Mnangagwa, with this crony capitalism, is going to be defeated. And therefore, as capitalists in Harare, I know you are worried about self-preservation. As the new leader, I indeed want to lead the rest of Zimbabwe, including you. After all, capital formation is going to come from you. We need to change our business structure in Harare. How business is done has to be changed. That is why I'll move forward by firing John Manguja and the finance minister, because we cannot carry on as business as usual of using the system of arbitrage, by taking money at a lower price at the Reserve Bank and selling higher in the black market, thereby confiscating the wealth of all Zimbabweans, killing our banking sector, killing our insurance industry through these hyperinflation episodes that we've had in the 2000s and we've had in the 2010s, and now this is coming back under Idi Mnangagwa. And I am saying that we need to arrest that kind of financial trajectory, because you know what, it is unsustainable even for the business of the mafia state, even for the business of the capitalist in Harare. It is unsustainable to have a runaway inflation. It is unsustainable for the rest of other businesses that you have besides the mining industry, but the other businesses that you have across the economy. It's unsustainable to to, to, to stifle your customers. It is important for the Zimbabwean consumer to be liquid. The Zimbabwean consumer, the Zimbabwean spender, has to have their incomes grow. How do we do that? First of all, we need to fix the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, put trust in our banking sector so that we can attract local and foreign investment. I'm more concerned a lot about the local investment, because I know that all the billions that have been externalized in the past decades can come back to Zimbabwe only if the financial sector can be trustworthy. If we can put trust in there by closing that arbitrage tab in the Reserve Bank, rule-based society. As a president, I make sure that the Reserve Bank is safe. The safety of the Reserve Bank is what is needed by everyone, including the most corrupt Zimbabwean, needs a safe Reserve Bank so that their money is safe in the banking sector. And I'll be very strict on the issuance of banking licenses, making sure that our banks are well regulated to be in line with what we are going to agree upon. Because for me, the financial services sector in Zimbabwe should grow and become one of the most pivotal, most important in our region. Seeing that the ANC and the EFF are willing to take South Africa down to the abyss. I'm seeing an opportunity for Zimbabwe, therefore, to arise and take that space and as being a regional powerhouse. We've been there before in the 1960s. Remember when we were Southern Rhodesia, we had people coming from all over Europe to settle in Southern Rhodesia, and they turned that country into an industrial boom that have never been seen in the region during those times. I do believe that even today we don't actually need Europeans to come to Zimbabwe. I need the Zimbabweans that are in Europe, the Zimbabweans in Britain, the Zimbabweans in the United States and all over the world. They can come back again, just like the white people that did that in the after the Second World War, who came to build Southern Rhodesia. Now, now this Zimbabwean renaissance is going to be tailor-made for black Zimbabweans mostly, including the white Zimbabweans that also left to Australia and New Zealand and other places. It's time for them now to come back with the skills that they have acquired around the world. But however, when they come back to Zimbabwe, they need a state that is functioning properly. And my name is Ngobane Zondo. I propose and I intend and I dedicate myself to leading that state that is properly managed, implement policies that are pro poor, pro people, pro business as well. It is possible to have policies that uplift our people out of poverty in the same way that the Chinese uplifted 800 million people out of poverty. At the same time, together with improving our education sector so that we can produce a Zimbabwean that is able to meet the demands of industry. At the same time, having a banking sector, this financial sector I am talking about, that is able to support our local industries. At the same time, being able to be regulated enough to keep our local capital formation, local capital investors, at the same time also elicit some foreign investments into the country. But at the bedrock of my economic policy, ladies and gentlemen, is the understanding that it is the Zimbabwean whose economy has to improve. So I'm basing first and foremost my economy on the Zimbabweans. The Zimbabweans that are outside the country, the Zimbabweans that are inside the country should participate in this economic development and enter the middle, upper middle class, and to create millionaires and billionaires who are Zimbabweans in the Zimbabwean economy. And then the foreigners, when they see our success, they can come in, therefore, to join us and take us to an even greater level. So I just need that base to be local. To be local capital. I will tell you why. Because during a time of a global crisis, when there is a capital flight, if your economy is based on foreign capital, you remember the Asian tigers when they faced that crisis in the 1997, 1998. Then it was because their capital was mostly foreign, and it had not yet developed deep capital pockets. So I need to develop a deep pool of capital within the country, such that when there's global troubles that may come for whatever reason, our local people, because they are Zimbabweans, they will tend to keep money safer at home. Understand? Money must be safer at home, safer at home. So how do I do that? By creating an environment where our financial services sector at home is so safe that Zimbabweans will rather not externalize money but keep money in Zimbabwe. But we cannot do that under Idim Nangagwa or any other ZANU PF crony whose intention is to kill, destroy, whose intention is to steal and not to build country. Therefore, you need a new man, a new member to the Harare society, someone who's worked from that society. By Harare society, I mean that financial, political society of Zimbabwe. We need somebody. You need somebody new. You need somebody fresh. You need somebody anointed. You need somebody well equipped. You need somebody with the love and the passion to do the job and take Zimbabwe forward. I hope you heard me, gentlemen. Tagwirei and your friends in the capitalists in Harare, all is forgiven, Madoda. The country is for all of us. You know, our disagreements is in this excessive greed that has crippled Harare and crippled the rest of Zimbabwe. I just want to be the leader of the economy and show you a better way in which you can reinvest your capital and create this this economic system in Zimbabwe where you were able to invest freely, invest legally, and be respected, not always running away from global white people because of corruption in Zimbabwe, human rights abuses, and all those things. How do you enjoy your money when it's like that? So I do want to clean Zimbabwe's image. So to clean Zimbabwe's image, we cannot have a Kokora Hondist carrying on as a president and think that we can take the country forward. You can't. We're having the people in Matebelele who still are unhappy because of what it did in the 80s, were unhappy of the ZANU-PF regime. I mean, including his deputy president, for crying out loud. These guys, we need to put them at a safe place. I'm not at a war with Idim Nangagwa or Chiwenga. I'm not at war with them. They just need to give us space to do our job. They can just stay in the farms wherever they are, but they must not be in politics. Even if they are in politics, they must be in business. Nangagwa is a very rich man. I'm sure he's a multi-billionaire. And Chiwenga, they're very rich men. I could do well with that money. They can talk to me. There's a way in which I think that money must come back and be reinvested in Zimbabwe or build a greater country for all of us. My name is Ngobani Zondo, and I am coming to Harare to campaign to be the next leader of Zimbabwe, but not through this caricature of fake elections. We know where it's going. I'm proud of you, gentlemen, for holding up this country peacefully for all of these years. Now let us shock the world and show them that even us as black people, we can come together, understand each other, and build a proper nation for all of us. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.